Tonight at 9 o'clock, the last comic standing. I'll whittle it down a little further. Got Jay Mohr standing by. A second, as soon as Mark gets done with him. And here he is. The star of the last comic standing, and also one of the many stars in the fine movie Simone. Jay Mohr.
Oh, you have to go where it hurts.
It's funny, I didn't even know you were in Simone.
Neither did I.
What do you do in Simone exactly? Al Pacino's in it. I mean, I could get sucked. Anybody gets sucked into something like that.
Yeah, well, if you told me in the beginning of the year that I was going to be in 2 movies, one with Eddie Murphy and one with Al Pacino, I'd tell you I'd hit the jackpot. Little did I know it was going to be Pluto Nash and Simone. Those movies bombed so bad they had to premiere at Blockbuster. Airplane, so no one walks out, but they do anyway.
Oh, boy. Well, the last comic standing is doing great.
Yeah, we're number 1.
That's a great show.
That?
Real great.
Numero uno. In tonight's episode, we have the best stand-up we've had so far. So tonight's episode, the 2 best stand-ups, in my opinion, in the house go head-to-head.
Wait, that's Ralphie May, I assume?
The 2 best stand-ups in the house go head-to-head. I'm the executive producer. If I give it away, I have to sue myself.
All right.
Who's that huge guy?
That's Ralphie May.
Yeah. Oh, my God, that guy. How does he...
Comedy team of Ralphie and May.
How in the world is he even surviving at that weight? My God.
I don't know. It's something I've stopped trying to figure out long ago.
Oh, my God.
Is it a glandular thing, or does he eat a lot, or what?
Look, it's a scientific impossibility to weigh that much unless you eat more calories than you burn.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a gland problem. He eats chickens, have lots of glands in them, cows.
Yeah. Usually when they're that big, they're bedridden, you know?
Yeah, he's mammoth, man. Pound for pound, he's the funniest guy alive.
Yeah, he's very funny.
Yeah,
now, one of the interesting things that has occurred on the last comic standing is that would seem to me to be the last place that Buddy Hackett ever appeared, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Isn't that weird? Man. What a freak out that was.
Well, it was a freak out to hear that he died.
Yeah.
He sit with his wife all night. I mean, that was quite a shock. No one expected it, but I was fortunate to have met Buddy, and he really enjoyed telling young comics. Anyone under the age of 60 to him was a young comic, but
yeah.
He really enjoyed telling us what he knew and sharing with us, little nips and tucks and the actual science and the craft of stand-up comedy that I still use today every time I go on stage. So
now he reamed out Joe Rogan on that one show.
Oh, that was the best. Shut the F up, you mother effer.
You know what, though? I kind of thought Buddy was talking out of his ass, because wasn't he basically saying it's okay to rip off jokes?
Yeah, but Buddy never heard the joke before, so I think he took...
Oh.
In his mind,
the fight actually started when Rogan started interrupting Hackett. Hackett didn't have a problem with what Rogan was saying. It was when Rogan interrupted him, he preceded the F-bomb by saying, I let you talk.
Last comic standing tonight, 9 o'clock. We're talking to Jay Mohr, who's... I really enjoyed a lot of your movies. I know you've had the Simone thing, we've been through that. But like Go, for example, which is a slightly obscure movie, but a fabulous flick. And I wondered, when they came to you, did they say, Jay, you're gonna be a gay guy, you're gonna be in a relationship with Scott Wolf, or did they just say you're gonna be in a relationship with some other dude? Or did you know it was Scott Wolf?
There was another dude, and then I had to audition. I actually had the part, and then they brought in like 5 or 6 guys to audition with me. And then in probably the strangest evening of my life, I was actually auditioning actors and seeing how the chemistry was.
Oh, boy.
And then Scott was just looked, we were soap opera stars in the movie, so Scott looked very soap opera-ish, and he was, we're both from New Jersey, so... I said, I think Scott's the way to go. And Scott was the best kisser, so...
Boy, I tell you, that was some kiss.
Yeah, you had to kiss Jimmy. Well,
yeah, when you kiss Jimmy. Yeah, when you kiss the character Jimmy. Oh, my God, that was pretty heavy.
That was hot.
Yeah, that was.
That's pretty disgusting.
How many times did you have to do...
Penis for about 6 weeks, I could have found my penis to take a leak after that.
How many times did you have to do it?
We did it 3 times.
Ooh.
Yeah,
and
wow.
after the 3rd time, the director said... okay, now we're going to set up the crane for the crane shot. I said, no, actually, I'm done.
Yeah.
He goes, well, we have a crane shot. I said, not with me kissing a guy in it.
Oh, boy.
It was a very believable kiss. Very good.
Hey, man, that's why you get paid, to make people believe it.
That's right.
Now, the second time I saw the movie, I thought that all the clues were there as to your sexuality or your character's sexuality, but I didn't pick up on it at all in the first time. That was the way it was supposed to be, was it not?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole trick was to act straight the entire time. Otherwise, it ruins the huge joke towards the end when you find out that the characters were gay.
God, that threw me.
And the only time the only thing we had on set was when we ran over the girl and she landed on our windshield. We screamed like girls.
Yeah.
The director, Doug Lyman, he wanted us to scream straight. And I said, Doug, if two gay guys have a couple cocktails in them, and they're a couple, and they're together, and they're completely relaxed, and they run someone over, if they're not going to let their guard down then you have nothing.
Well, the other thing that I thought was a dead giveaway was when the gal says, what kind of wine do you have, red or white, with ham? And you both said white wine at the same time. That was...
Yeah, white.
But I didn't pick up on that the first time I saw it. It really kind of pissed me off.
Well, that's good. You don't want to be the guy picking up on it.
No, that's true, I suppose. Great flick, though.
I know they're gay because everyone knows white wine goes with ham.
200 Cigarettes is another kind of gem, I think, from your...
I made Kate Hudson a star.
That was a big flick for her.
That was her first big thing. I got to kiss her.
Yeah?
Yeah. How was that?
Oh, it was sweet, brother.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, she is foxy.
Yeah.
I wonder if their kid's going to come out all high on weed.
The movie, though, the one reigning thing in that movie, all I can think about when I think of that movie is this girl walking around with dog crap on the back of that nice jacket the whole flick.
That was funny, man.
Which is Kate Hudson. Was that real dog crap?
No, I wish it was, though. But, no, actually, I don't wish it was, because I had to hug her afterwards. It was, you get a prop department, and they come out, and they know how to make dog poop look like dog poop.
Well, some people, you figure, are so finicky about making things authentic that I didn't know one way or the other.
Just use the real thing. If it was a Marley
movie, you could bet your bottom dollar that it would have been real dog.
Oh, sure. Hey, speaking of, I just read the Saturday Night Live book, and it's funny, I had practically forgotten you were on Saturday Night Live, and we're all mystified as to why weren't you more of a player on that show?
Well, that's why I wrote a Saturday Night Live book, and it'll be out in 2004. It's called Gasping for Airtime. It's about me on Saturday Night Live for 2 years.
Is that right?
I had panic attacks real bad when I was there. And it's basically, you forgot that I was there is the reason I wrote the book. It's the Saturday Night Live book, the Tom Shell's book, I'm assuming you're referring to.
Yeah.
It's okay, but everyone always writes from the outside in. No one's ever written from the inside out. No one's ever written a book that was there.
Well, without trying to get all the good stuff out of your book, were you just not pushy enough? I know you have to be incredibly pushy.
I drowned. I pushed so hard.
Did you?
And it's just, there's a flow and there's a rhythm to the place that I was just never able to figure out. And people will think because it's me and because I wrote the book that it's going to be a dirty laundry tell-all, F him and F her, but it's actually F me. I'm not getting this. There's a rhythm to this place, and I just don't fit in, no matter how hard I try. And the more I try, the worse it gets. And it's pretty dark. It's very funny, obviously, but I really open up and I really talk about panic attacks and how I thought I was dying and stuff. And I hope it'll be good, but if it's not a bestseller, I kind of don't care because it was a big part of me, and it was a lot of work to really go back and remember what happened 10 years ago.
Who are you tight with from that group? Who are your good friends from your stretch on Saturday Night Live?
Dave Attell, really, and Sarah Silverman. Those are the ones I came on board with, but it was kind of like when I got there, Sandler, Farley, Spade, Schneider, and Timmy Meadows, they all came aboard at the same time, and they'd been there for 3 years. Mm-hmm. So by the time everyone was friendly to me, with the exception of, Ellen Cleghorn and Schneider, who were just out of their minds. But
no kidding. Rob Schneider was a prick?
Oh, what are the odds?
We interviewed him, let's see, about 3 months ago about The Hot Chick, and the premiere of that movie in Detroit got moved for some reason, so we weren't able to see it. So he comes on, he's like, yeah, so what do you think of the movie? And I said, well, the premiere got goofed up. And he's like, you haven't seen the movie? He was really angry.
Yeah.
And I said, no, you don't understand. They moved it. It wasn't our fault. And he was angry at us for not having seen the premiere. It's like, you dick.
Yeah, he's got a chemical imbalance, I think, but he...
The movie stunk, too. It was terrible.
I didn't see it, but what's strange about Rob was he'd be really mean to me and call me like rookie for like 3 weeks in a row.
Oh, God.
And then the fourth week, he'd come into your office, start massaging your shoulders, and go, we should write a sketch together. And that's how Christopher Walken got on the air, was Schneider wrote it with me, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And then the next week, he'd be a prick again. And you didn't know whether you were coming or going, whereas like Ellen Cleghorn was just so unbelievably out of her mind 24 hours a day, you didn't even have to say hi to her in the hallway. She was a good kind of crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Were you there when, did Chevy Chase ever guest host when you were there?
No, thank God.
Okay. Yeah, because he's referencing that book as every time he guest hosts, they get about a chapter of material about what a prick he is.
I just think he's lost, I don't know. You know what? I don't really know anything about the man to have a concise, nice opinion about him, so I'll pass.
Okay.
But I did a movie with Bill Murray, and that you'll never see.
Oh, what movie?
It's called Speaking of Sex. It's at a Blockbuster near you. Also.
How could a movie with you and Bill Murray not be good?
I don't know, but Catherine O'Hara was in it also, and... I don't know what the hell happened.
How was Bill to work with?
Calgary, and he was the best. I remember once he cursed out a producer on the set and called him a miserable midget MNFer and literally grabbed the guy by the throat and started choking him out.
Wow.
And then put the guy down, and then he looked at me and he said, what are you doing this weekend? I said, I'm going back to we were in Calgary. I said, I'm in Los Angeles. And he said, well, if you want to, I'm playing golf with my son, so if you want to use my jet, you can. And meanwhile, there's a guy getting up off the carpet going,
Wow.
Oh, my God, that's absolutely hysterical.
He's a volatile guy. He got in a fight with, I think it was Chevy Chase he got in a fist fight with.
Bill Murray, all the original cast members are bad asses. Like Belushi, Aykroyd is an absolute badass, too.
Well, he banged everybody in sight on that show. He slept with all the chicks.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, except for Lorraine Newman, but I mean, come on.
He did anyway. He slept with her, I think.
You couldn't sleep with her. You'd cut yourself. That's a skinny broad. You can have sex with Lorraine, bring a condom and a tourniquet.
Well, he obviously had a problem with Charlie's Angels people because they didn't even ask him to come back to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Not that I blame him.
They got Cedric the Entertainer. He turned black halfway through the...
Jay Mohr's with us on WRAF. And Jay, of course, we were talking about Jerry Maguire, too. Is Tom Cruise a friend of yours, or is that something where you guys just sort of did lines together? I mean, movie lines together. And,
I wish I did lines with Cruise. That would have been cool. We're friendly. Like he's one of those guys. If he knows you, he's absolutely one of the coolest human beings and nicest human beings that ever walked the face of the earth. And do you remember, like 2 years ago, he saved like 3 people's life?
Yeah.
He was like pulling people out of the Mediterranean by their collar, and like somebody got hit by a car, and he gave him CPR on the side of the road. He's amazing, man. That was my first movie. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
That was a great role. I mean, that was right out of left field. Were you surprised you got that role?
I was too stupid. I'm more surprised now when I don't get roles than I was then, because then I was just a comic in the clubs, and it was, I knew I was I thought I was in over my head, but now I audition for roles, and it's more stupefying when you do a really good job, and they tell you, that was fantastic, and then they give the job to, like, Skeet Ulrich, and you're like, what the hell happened?
No, that was, I mean, you really, you fit the role well. It was a tough role, and, I mean, here you came out of the clear blue sky. A lot of people didn't even know who you were, and you really knocked it down.
Well, thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and Renee Zellweger, too. That was kind of her first big flick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, actually.
Yeah?
She that was her big first movie.
What'd you make of her?
She's a sweetheart, man.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's real genuine. She's real nice. She's a real good gal.
Yeah. She got a body on her.
I think you're fishing around for dirt, but I don't have much.
Oh, yeah, Mike thinks she's a knockout. Is she? How hot is she in
person?
person?
A great body.
She's real hot. She's real hot. She's one of those gals that looks you right in the eye when she talks to you, and you're like, I think I'm going to sleep with her.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
When I was on Saturday Night Live, Nicole Kidman hosted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I remember for the first time since I was there, someone looked me in the eye when they spoke to me.
Yeah.
It was her, and I remember just sitting there talking to Nicole Kidman going, oh, my God, she wants to have sex with me.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But it was only because out of, panic attacks and just going crazy on Saturday Night Live, just the fact that somebody was looking me in the eye.
Right.
Actually put them over the top.
Well, tonight at 9 o'clock, I know we've gone well over our time, but we would not be stopped. Certainly, we're all fans. Jay Mohr and The Last Comic Standing on NBC. So everybody check it out. Now, how do we get in touch with you? We were trying to get you in here for a football game last year when Ford Field opened up, and do you ever do gigs like that? Show up for a Sunday afternoon, a little broadcast, and a little football party?
You out of your mind? Of course. I want to take the Last Comic Standing tour on the road, and I got to hit the big day trois.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah.
We got a great club here.
Way cool.
Yeah, Mark Ridley.
Yeah. Bloomfield and Birmingham. I got a lot of family up there.
Oh, there you go.
Well, bring it on.
Kidding.
Well, hang on one second. Maybe we can get a name or something, and we'll all be watching tonight.
Definitely. Thank you, brother. And tonight we got. I got to tell you this. Tonight's stand-up showdown is the best one. It's the two best comics in the house go head-to-head.
Great. Well, we'll be checking it out for sure, Jay, and thanks for the time.
God bless.
Don't go away.
Okay, man.
All right. There's Jay Mohr. Yeah, we're trying to get him in for the opening of Ford Field last year. We're trying to get, something special, and he was doing... I think Mohr Sports was just coming off the assembly line, which, boy, he's had a lot of ups and downs. Yeah, there was a financial issue. We didn't talk to Jay. So remember that Mohr Sportsman? He really was going to be a sports heavy, and he got into quite a to-do over Edgerrin James. Do you remember that, Mark?
Yeah.
Whether the Colts had rushed him back too soon, or they had gotten an improper diagnosis of his knee problem, and man, the Colts were ready to sue Jay. I mean, they were ready to take him to court and pound a pretty good lump on him. And I never know what happened with that. Did he turn out to be right?
I don't remember. I don't know how that resolved itself.
Because Edgerrin, didn't he miss a few games, or did he report to camp late?
He missed a bunch of games.
Well, that was great.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get him in here for that'd be awesome. Get the Last Comic Standing in town.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah,
if Jay in for a little football tailgate.
Yeah. And he's talking about he's got family. What is it, Birmingham? And
yeah, we got to make that happen.
Isn't that amazing? God, I can't believe how many of these people...
No, he coughed up the cell?
Yeah.
No way.
He just spit it out. He goes, man, I've really got to run for these other radio stations. We're late, but call me anytime. We'll hook it up.
Awesome.
I told him we were friends with Stephen Lynch. He's on his album, and he's like, oh, yeah, man, anytime. Because remember we had him at that tailgate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Came out and...
Well, he needs a new radio show. He was tight with Opie and Anthony, which is that big New York show, and they had that. Well, they had Sex at the Church, that famous church in New York, and that got them knocked off. Boy, they had a great contract and all that.
God,
that was a pretty frightening ordeal. And those guys, they're still out of work.
I know
aren't they?
They are out. They're out. I thought for sure somebody's going to hire them, get all the publicity from that.
Well, they kind of did the same thing in Boston. They said the mayor was dead on April Fool's Day. Lost their job there. So that worked once. They got the bigger job in New York. And then New York, they were doing what was that bid called?
Oh, God, what was that?
It was like a sexual scavenger hunt where if you had sex in certain places, you'd get points.
Yeah, they did something every week that really pushed the line.
Yeah, and they had
people sex in a public place.
That's what it was, and no matter wherever you did it, you would get points. And
they went and did it in a church.
The producers with them. And if you ever listen to the tapes, producer's kind of a dick.
I think we...
To the cops.
We did listen to that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we did. We listened to every bit of it.
I'm trying to remember, was it as shocking as everybody kind of implied? When it was pretty mind-boggling.
Yes, it was. I mean, we were amazed when we listened to that.
But I still thought, as much money as they made for their company, I thought somebody's going to pick them up.
Right.
Whatever, but, boy, still out of commission.
Yep. Who's going to pick them up? And one company owns every station.
Well, that's just it. We've talked about that. All this consolidation of media outlets. It Yeah, cause for concern, especially for people like
Greater
that.
Media. Yeah, don't give Greater Media any ideas.
Well, hey, they're welcome in the Greater Media family. We'll make the Greater Media family stronger. We're just this little 20 radio station outlet with cable concern in New Jersey. But, yeah, we are the little guys, no question about that. We're the mom and pop when it comes to radio. Yeah. Although, I don't know if, at this point, though, I mean, there has to be people going, what are they going to do next? How do you know they're not going to do anything? But there's other people who've effed up just as big and are still around.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Jay used to be do quite a bit with that program. So I think when he's bored, and doesn't have a radio show to call, maybe he can add us to his list. That'd be great. Cause he's one funny guy.
Imagine working with Bill Murray and all that stuff like that.
I know, how cool.
Oh my God, that's a funny story.
I still can't get over that. How could a Bill Murray movie bomb with Jay Mohr?
I don't know. I can't imagine.
And Bill Murray, that is he got in a fist fight with Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase came back to Saturday Night Live a year after he left, which he left primarily because his wife insisted that he was going to be a bigger star and he should be getting more money. And his agent was saying, don't leave Saturday Night Live, Chevy. It's the hottest, edgiest thing. I mean, this is the greatest thing that's happened to television in 30 years. You got to stay. And his wife just insisted that he should leave. Listen to his wife. Big mistake. So he comes back a year later, and he was really irritating Belushi and Aykroyd. And I think they sort of fed Murray some stuff. They were trying to really upset Murray, like how Chevy's trying to get your sketch killed, Bill. And Murray went nuts, got in a fist fight with Chevy in the hallway. I think this was the day of the show, too. And then, remember, we heard about him and Dreyfus getting into all kinds of squabbles on What About Bob?
Yep.
And I couldn't help but think that Dreyfus was the a-hole in that one.
No question about that. No question.
And this Charlie's Angels deal where Bernie Mac is, what's that character's name? Bosley.
Bosley, yep.
Murray was Bosley in the first movie. The first movie did fantastic. I mean, it's a big movie. You would not think they'd make a change like that. And apparently Murray, I'm not sure who it was he didn't get along with. Drew Barrymore, it seems to me, is like the executive producer of that deal. I don't know if it was with Drew or who it was, but there was some foul relationship. And he was not asked back.
Huh.
And that movie was a monster. It did great. Of course, the sequel isn't doing so well, so he's probably glad he didn't do it. It's not like he needs the work. It's funny to hear Jay tell a story about him literally taking somebody to the ground. Because Murray's not the toughest looking guy.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. But that's so funny, the way he took the guy to the ground and then turns around and just completely unaffected then says all that to him.
Funny. It's funny that Murray would, when Jay said that, the first thing I thought of was, oh, that's really funny. But the second thing I thought of was, God, Murray's got his own jet? That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. If a guy like that with all that money, if he flies a lot, it's actually more advantageous financially.
Is it really?
Yeah, it actually is with business jets. If you fly a lot.
God, it seems like you'd have to fly an awful lot.
I know, it seems like it, but they're not as bad as you would think. That's why these guys like, Harrison Ford